Howdy folks, I'm Brian, and here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for taking my older brother to a restaurant instead of taking him to a wedding?" I'm a 21-year-old male, and I have an older brother, Adam, 27, and he's wheelchair bound due to a motorcycle accident that caused him SCI. He was living with his ex-fiancée, and my parents took him after she said she couldn't do it anymore. I come to take care of him every day. Started learning to be Adam's carer since mom and dad were becoming overwhelmed. I still go out and study while being there for Adam. It's been almost 3 years. Last week, my parents got a wedding invitation from Adam's ex-fiancee's parents. Her family and my family are close, known them for 15 years. My parents told Adam that they wanted him to come to the wedding and celebrate and support the family. No matter what happens, the two families will be close. Adam said no. Dad lashed out and saying he needs to stop being selfish and potentially ruining a 15-year friendship between two families by being bitter. I got involved after Dad said that Adam had no choice but to go. I asked him to respect Adam's opinion, but Dad called me an enabler, and that they get to veto his opinion since they do so much for him. I left and stayed gone for 2 days. Adam said that they were pressuring him and he couldn't take it anymore. The day of the wedding, I went to my parents' house. I told them that I wanted to go with Adam to the wedding and I would drive him there myself. They said okay. Told me to follow them and rushed out. Instead of following them, I drove Adam to a restaurant out of town, 2 hours away. We had a great time there. His frown turned into a joyful smile. Seeing him like this made me feel relieved. Once I turned my phone on, my dad was livid, calling me a manipulative liar, asking why I didn't follow them with Adam to the wedding. Talked about how embarrassed he was and how he repeatedly was telling people my sons are gonna be here soon. He yelled that I damaged a 15-year-old friendship with the ex's family. I argued with him about how he ignored Adam's wishes and that being disabled doesn't mean he has no independence and no opinions anymore. He told me to be quiet with this BS and be grateful he didn't call the police for what I did and demanded that I bring Adam home. I dropped Adam off and left. Other family members berated me, saying I'm not a kid and I should be held responsible for my reckless and ruining the relationship between two families. To clarify, Adam's ex claimed they couldn't stay together not because of him being in a wheelchair, but something else. Adam said she was treating him poorly. My parents' relationship with Adam is based on mainly doing each other favors and act like they respect each other. But I know they're just looking for benefits and what they can get from each other. Note, I'm currently renting an apartment with a number of roommates. I can barely afford rent, that's why I can't take Adam to live with me. But I will be doing my best to get my own place and take him with me. Unfortunately, it's not possible right now. Alright, OP. I mean, here's the thing. While it might not have been very nice to deceive your parents and tell them that you're going to take him to the wedding, you did what Adam wanted you to do, and that is you didn't attend the wedding. And the thing is, like, the two families should be understanding towards Adam and his wants and his wishes. Like, he didn't want to attend the wedding because it probably brought up a lot of raw feelings for him. And this is just something he's just not interested in and he doesn't want to do. He's not interested in putting up a charade. So I think it's really good that you respected his wishes here and allowed him to not have to attend the wedding if he didn't want to. So yeah, OP, I'm going to have to say that you're not the jerk here. I can't really think of a better way of handling the situation. Like, if he had gone to the wedding, would it have been any less ruinous? Like, if he had had a bad attitude the entire time he was there and being, you know, just sour and bitter and whatnot? Like, then he would have been isolated alone in a corner and people would have just been like, well, what's his problem? It still may have ruined a 15-year-old friendship. So, you know, I don't know that that's the case here. They'll get over it. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. Why on earth would your parents want Adam to watch the woman he was going to marry someone else? That's just cruel. My son's mental well-being would be way more important to me. Your parents are definitely the jerks here, and I'm sorry Adam has to live with them and put up with their BS. Oh, I know this one, because he's not a real person anymore. He's a prop. They just needed him to let them wheel him around so they could get their props for doing so much for him. And let everyone coo over how sad it is that he'll never find anyone to love him, but he still got to see the bride in her pretty dress and dream, if for one day. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Judging from the parents here, that wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I hate to be cynical. This is what I interpreted too. I don't think it was the ex's fiance's wedding. Yeah, just a wedding in the ex's family. I was pretty sure about that, so I'm glad I'm not the only person who thought this. So yeah, I'm going to agree with this person here and just say, yeah, I don't think this was actually the fiance getting married. I think this was someone else. It was just the two families are close. All right, let's take a tea break for a second. Hopefully you enjoyed that first story. If you did, stick around. We got a couple more good stories for you. Today, I'm drinking some caramel shortbread again. I liked it so much last night that I decided to have a second glass today. It really is quite tasty. I highly recommend this tea. Tell me in the comments below, what kind of tea are you drinking today if you're drinking tea? You can also tell me if you're drinking coffee. Coffee is, I actually prefer coffee over tea, but I drink both. I enjoy both. And I mean, it's like, there's just, sometimes you can't compare them. I mean, it's a bit unfair for me to say I like coffee better. It's different. I enjoy coffee for many different reasons. And, a lot of different teas I enjoy for different reasons. But certainly not at, 7 o'clock at night. I'm not going to drink coffee at 7 o'clock at night. All right, let's move on to our next story. Am I a jerk for getting upset when my girlfriend showed an old pic of herself to my friend? Throwaway for the usual reasons. I'm a 35-year-old male and I have been dating Emma, a 29-year-old female, for about 4 months now. Recently, she met some of my close friends in person for the first time because we're all vaccinated now. She and I live across the hall from each other and both work from home, so we're in the same bubble before being vaccinated. She was telling my friend Amanda one of her travel stories and showed her a picture on her phone of what she was talking about. And I was bothered about it. And here is why. Full disclosure, Emma is drop-dead gorgeous. Just a full-on natural beauty. Shiny blonde hair, large blue eyes, pretty smile, perfect hourglass figure. Basically looks-wise my dream girl and easily the most attractive girl I've ever been in a relationship with. However, from ages 16 to 27, she had a very short pixie cut. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely hate this hairstyle. In my opinion, it's one of the least attractive things a woman can do to herself. I would never tell a random woman on the street, or even one I know, that I think she looks bad, obviously. But privately, I cringe when I see short hair on an attractive girl. My close friends know I don't like it, though. Emma has had hair about 6 inches past her shoulders since I've known her. And when I saw an old picture of her when we were first dating, I asked about it and she said she'll probably never cut it short again because it was a pain to grow out. After Amanda and my other friends left, I was still internally cringing at the old picture and I decided just to say something about it. In the most gentle way I could ask her if she could be a little more discreet about showing pictures of herself with short hair because it's really important to me that my friends see her in the most flattering light. She got really mad and told me it's her past she's sharing and I have no right to tell her what she can and can't say about herself. She insists that she was just as attractive when her hair was short and got just as much male attention. I tried to just let her vent so she could calm down, but she still's barely talking to me. Am I the jerk? Edit. I didn't tell her or demand that she didn't show the pictures. I was just so bothered by it. I'm weird, I know. That I really nicely asked and she lost it. OP, this was not necessarily the wisest decision in the world. You shouldn't tell her, yeah, this was unsolicited. She didn't ask you. She wasn't like, hey, what do you think of my short haircut? And she wasn't like, hey, should I show pictures of myself when I have a short haircut to people? She didn't ask for your advice. She didn't ask for your input. You gave it freely. And it was certainly not welcome for her. If I think this was just a very poor exercise of judgment on your part. I don't think you should have said this. It doesn't matter how bothered you are. She was sharing pictures of her past and her travels. What do you want her to do? Go in and photo edit them all so that she has long hair in them? This doesn't even make any sense, OP. Like, literally 0 sense here. You need to find something better to do to occupy your time than rag on your girlfriend about having short hair at some point in time in her life. Such a large chunk of her life, too. Like, a decade, basically? Like, so she can't show anyone pictures of herself during that decade? Oh, sorry, I lost all those pictures. No, that doesn't even make any sense, OP. It really doesn't. You just need to get over this. Or, if it's a deal breaker for you, find a new partner. Your partner might be finding a new partner. Just saying. You're the jerk, buddy. You're the jerk. So basically, because you don't like the way women look with pixie cuts, you think your girlfriend should never show any pictures spanning more than a third of her life? She's about to be your ex-girlfriend so quickly your head will spin. My guy, you literally think women should dictate their appearance to your preferences. I'm dying to know how drop-dead gorgeous you are. One time for good measure, you're the jerk. Edit to add, there's nothing more cringe than asking your girlfriend not to show pictures from her past because you don't like her hairstyle. I think that about sums that up. Your edit makes you an even bigger jerk because no matter how really nicely you ask, the context of what you're asking is so incredibly unreasonably jerkish. You're the jerk. What's next? Will she have to delete her old social media posts of photos you don't like either? Yeah. All right. Our final letter is titled, Am I a jerk for screaming at my stepmother that she doesn't care about us? I'm a 21-year-old female and I'm a triplet. I love my 2 sisters, and after 21 years, of course I'm used to people mixing us up all the time. It's annoying, but we are used to it. My dad has been dating with his wife for 8 years, married for 6 years. I can count with my fingers just how many times she has gotten our names right, even though we've told her little things to tell us apart, and all these years, we've spent New Year's and vacations with them. It's not like she never sees us, but I swear she gets our names wrong every time. We all have similar voices and jobs too, but right now, one of my sisters has pink hairs, while the other dyed it blonde. She still gets it wrong each time, and it annoys all of us since it's not coming from a stranger, but someone that has spent a lot of time with us. We correct her every time, or don't reply until she gets it right. She doesn't have a good relationship with our mom, so I guess that might be an effect, but I'm not sure. She hasn't always been nice to us either. A few days ago, she wouldn't stop calling me by my sister's name, and it was annoying to me. I corrected her a few times, and she said I was rude. I told her that obviously she didn't care about us, or she would have tried harder by now. She tried to punish me, and we got into an argument. I don't know what she said to my dad, but he is on her side and wants me to apologize. I don't want to. My sisters are on my side. Am I a jerk for screaming at her and not wanting to apologize? Edit. I forgot to mention, but my mom's husband was able to tell us apart after 1 year. Alright, OP. I mean, I say this often enough on my channel, but I guess it bears worth repeating. I don't think that arguments should devolve into yelling. Sometimes people raise voices, and like, if you're impassioned, it's understandable that you might kind of lose control of your voice a little bit. But full on yelling, I don't think that argument should devolve into that. With that said, I think this is extremely rude that your stepmom can't get your name right. And it doesn't make any sense why she shouldn't be able to get your names right, because one, you even have different hair at the moment, so that should be the biggest tell ever. So I don't blame you for being upset, because it seems like she does it out of just complete apathy. She doesn't care what she calls you kids, because all of you are basically the same to her. She doesn't feel like she needs to learn your names, because why bother, type of thing. When one name is good enough, why learn all of them? So yeah, I would really have a hard time faulting you here, other than maybe actually getting into a yelling match. But yeah, I think that she owes you an apology for many years of not remembering your name. Not the jerk, she tried to punish you at 21 years old. She doesn't want to learn your name. She has known you for a very long time, so it's a choice. Your dad is a jerk too for not expecting his children to be respected. And OP says, Dad was never really into having children, though, so we don't really expect much from him. That's sad. I'd probably start doing a real jerk thing and start calling her by another name. Maybe your mom's name, if that would annoy her. Just act like you can't remember her name. See how she likes it. Not the jerk, OP. I don't know. What do you think? Is this a good suggestion? I can certainly see why it would be beneficial, and I think it would potentially teach a lesson. And maybe it would just escalate things and be childish. But also, sometimes it's easy to get the point when you have a proper illustration, and this might provide the proper illustration. This is just wild to me. In high school, I had a crush on a boy who had a twin brother. And even in high school, seeing them maybe an hour every other day, I could easily tell them apart like it was nothing. This is literally just OP's stepmother not caring. That's kind of what I think. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm a 21-year-old female, and I'm a triplet. I love my two sisters, and after 21 years, of course I'm used to people mixing us up all the time. It's annoying, but we are used to it. Yeah, but how old are your other sisters? I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just cracked. This isn't a funny joke, Brian. This isn't a funny joke. If it isn't funny, then why am I laughing?